Welcome to the Community Forum. My name is John Gogliettino, and I'm your host. This evening we're changing gears once again. We're going to be talking about holistic health coaching. My guest tonight is Heather Johnson, and in full disclosure, over the years I've always had full disclosure when there's situations that need to be known, and that is that we're both members of the B&I of Richfield group. But without that, it had been a while since we had this type of person talking to us, and it's always a good idea to engage in the conversation. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
And before we get into our prepared questions, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure.
How long you've been in Connecticut? What schools you went to, and that's sort of before you got into your coaching.
My whole life. Well, I was born and raised in Texas. I don't know if you knew that. And moved to Connecticut after I got married. And I've been in Connecticut now I did go to Texas A&M University in Texas. And let's see, we moved to Connecticut. I've been in Connecticut about 15 years. Lived in China for 3 in between.
China?
Yeah, we lived in Shanghai, China.
Okay.
And that was a great adventure for 3 years. Moved back to Connecticut. So we've been back in Connecticut for 10 years. I have a little boy named Jack. He's 11 years old. And I love coaching because it's a job that I can do working from home. That's what I was really pursuing. My former career was in the music industry. But I knew once I had a child, I didn't want to work in the music industry.
Okay.
It's too much time on the road.
Right.
And I really wanted to be home when he got off the bus and be there to raise him.
Right.
So it turned out to be an amazing second career for me. And I love coaching people to better health.
So the name of your company is
Pharmopathy.
Or Pharmopathy.
It's very hard to pronounce.
Okay, say that say that 3 times.
Right.
Okay. And how did you get on this kick? Was it you were while you were on the road and there was stress from doing the music? You found that you needed to sort of self-adjust.
That hard lifestyle definitely led me into seeking solutions. And when we lived in China, I was probably at my heaviest weight.
Really?
I was size 12.
In China, you were at your heaviest weight?
Heaviest weight when I first got there.
Oh, okay.
Because we had just arrived in China.
Okay.
And of course, we found the McDonald's right away, right?
Okay.
But yeah, we basically, I did some research online and started to play around with some diets, found that the low glycemic diet really worked for me. I went on a diet and lost about 20 pounds, I think, and got to a healthy weight. And that was all before I ever got pregnant. And I got pregnant while we were in China.
And that was another story.
Yeah, another story.
Another road of to
so
travel.
That wasn't my ultimate wellness. I did feel a little better. I was only 30 years old at the time. So when you're 30, your body's a little more forgiving. I lost the weight. I felt better. And then I got pregnant.
Right.
And for a lot of women, that's what kind of throws you for a loop, because pregnancy is very hard on your body, and childbirth is it's a wonderful thing to have a baby, but it's very hard on a woman's body. And after I gave birth to my son is when I really started to have the challenges of, I can't just jump on this diet anymore and lose the weight and keep it off, So I started to go into that roller coaster that a lot of us experience with dieting, and started to get really confused because every time I went into a bookstore, I found a different dietary theory. And that led me to wanting to go and learn more about nutrition, because I couldn't even find a book on nutrition. So I went to school to be a health coach and spent a year just learning about nutrition and healthy lifestyles. And that basically was really what helped me, is just seeking, just getting that education and learning how to just eat clean.
So you had a long road.
A long road, yeah.
Yes.
It's about 10 years, really.
Experimentation,
Yeah, yeah.
And then you were doing the music also, which there was don't
That was the tipping point.
let's bring the diet to an end for 2 days. It's Christmas time or whatever, and
Yeah.
so all of that is your experience,
Mm-hmm.
and then you decided, okay, when you're done. Now is the time to get
Yeah.
into this type of thing because you've got all these years of experience
Mm-hmm.
at it.
Yeah, and I graduated from health coaching school and was still a little frustrated with my own health. At that point, I was at a healthy weight, but I was tired all the time and just had some digestive issues. I would pretty much bloat from everything that I ate.
Too much in the way of cholesterol or too much?
No, my blood tests were fine. I went to the doctors. Nobody could tell me what was wrong. I knew something was wrong because I didn't feel great. But I also know that a lot of times they don't catch things until it's at a chronic level. So I knew it wasn't right for me at the age of 40 to not feel good, high energy. I would go to the workout. I would try to go and work out, and I would come home and I felt like I needed to be on the couch for the rest of the day. And I knew that wasn't normal. And I knew I needed my energy for my son, who at the time was 5 years old. and they can
bouncing
run.
around.
And one day it really hit me because he was wanting to run through the parking lot of the grocery store. And of course you want to hold their hand and run with them.
Yeah.
And I did, but I felt so incredibly tired and exhausted. It was only the distance of here to the end of this room. And I was like, this is not right. I should not be winded from running across the
room.
Yeah. So that's right about the time that another health coach reached out to me with a solution that really helped me with my own health. It was a cleanse program. And I was able to marry all of the things that I learned about good nutrition and clean eating and pair that with a really efficient cleanse, and really helped me get to my own best level of health, but it was also able to help my clients as well.
So does it vary from one client to the other as to what their biggest challenge is, so to speak? In other words, if somebody's from a Swedish background, the solution might be one thing as opposed to somebody from Italy or somebody that's Italian descent.
Definitely. Everybody's so unique. And, genetics definitely come into play. I asked a lot of questions about their current lifestyle, if they have any health challenges, and that'll give you some clues as to where to start. If somebody's got a health challenge, I will usually modify my program. Yeah, I work with a lot of diabetics too, and they've seen great results with our program. The biggest challenge, because you were asking what the biggest challenge was for people, I think a lot of times it's one thing or the other. It's either that they don't know what to do, they've tried everything and they're still frustrated. They're motivated, but they haven't found the right system or program to plug into. The other biggest challenge is mindset. So maybe they do know what to do, but they can't seem to stay on track. And I think for the people with the mindset issue, and a lot of us have that to varying degrees, it's really honing in on your why. Like let's say, for example, your goal is weight loss. Why do you want to lose the weight? If you got to your goal weight, what would that allow you to do? Would you be able to play with your kids more? Would you be able to get back on the ski slopes? What would that do for your life, your quality of life?
Because that helps you if you're committed to doing that.
Yeah, it'll help you commit. And some of my clients will have a vision board, or just write down, what is my why, just someplace where they can see it every day. And that's powerful when you've got something that you can see every day, your goal.
Like on your door or something. Or
your mirror. Wake up in the morning and brush your teeth.
Right above where you brush your teeth. You got
And you want your why to be powerful. They say if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not strong enough,
The why.
Yeah, your why.
Okay. Does that have something to do with China or no? The why?
Well, my son was born in China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, it does. And when I didn't have my energy, he was my why. I wanted to be able to live a full life, with my family. Yeah, absolutely.
So it could be the why for going on with your life, because you're shortening your life if you're that much heavier or irregular.
Yeah.
Your diet, you're dropping 10 pounds, and the next 2 months you go back up 10 pounds or whatever. That's not good for anybody's life.
Exactly, yeah. And you can use it in business too. You know, if you have a goal that you're trying to hit with your business, your next goal, that's, you know, what would that do for your quality of life? You know, changing your level of income, what is that going to do? How is that going to make you feel if you do achieve that next goal? You know, we do that. I do that with my team too.
And it's a little easier to do other things if you got that area under control.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
a lot of people, it went out of control because they thought that was the way to do it. Oh, it's time to eat. Okay, I'm going to go to McDonald's and wolf down this thing in 1.5 minutes. This meal goes down, and 3/4 is undigested, and it's not doing you any good. You may as well have not eaten or just taken a bite and thrown the thing away, because that's much better than the way that most of us behave. You know, got to put something in the stomach there. You know,
something of quality.
And then move along.
Exactly.
So what do you find are the biggest problems? Are the people with existing health problems, or people on the road to problems, or is it just that much of a variation, and there's that many people coming along?
There's a lot of different people. I find that everybody has a busy lifestyle. So the program that I work with, it is designed for busy lifestyles, and I mean pretty much everybody today is busy and on the go, and we're not in this era anymore where everyone can cook their own meal, every meal, 3 times a day. And that's what I was a little frustrated with as a health coach, is I was trying to do that myself, and I was getting overwhelmed and frustrated with having to chop and prepare, every meal. So my program really helps make that easy for people. We do use some meal replacements, and that just makes it, easy for them to do on the go. And
I was going to say, there's got to be some something you carry with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Grab and go, really friendly. We do meal
but
replacement.
better food as opposed to the fast food you find.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we do coach on eating healthier through the program. But what's nice about it is the program that I use, we replace a couple of meals a day while you're going through the program. That's something easy for you to prepare. And then you're only having to really focus on one meal a day that you're preparing yourself, or going out to a restaurant, making the best choice. And so you can kind of baby step yourself into a healthier lifestyle, which is what I think most people need, And then when you're through the program and you've hit your goal, you can still use, parts of the program to maintain your results. And, then maybe you can prepare or choose 2 meals a day instead of, only having to focus on one.
Now, there's no variation if you have some kind of disease. There might be a little bit of a variation, but not a huge difference.
And I'm definitely not
let's say somebody's recovering from cancer. Is there a huge difference from one to the other?
Recovering, if they were off of all their treatments.
Yeah, they're done with the treatments.
Yeah, then and we have a clinical nutritionist on the program that I work with. We have a clinical nutritionist who I can actually dial into and ask questions live with my client. They can also run everything by their doctor too. I never discourage that. But I work with everybody on an individual basis, and so the program will actually help them gently detox, because once you've gone through that level of trauma on your body, you really do want to kick those toxins out of your body.
They weren't
gently.
kidding.
Not all at once.
When they were talking to James Bond, this says the free radicals in the system.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's all toxic stuff that's getting you sick after so many years.
Yeah, we load the body with a lot of antioxidants too, which will really help, boost that nutrition that's probably deficient in the body. A lot of us are low in minerals, so we incorporate minerals in the program. Our cleanse has botanicals that really help the body cleanse itself naturally, but really aids the body in detoxifying on its own. Yeah, when you get the right nutrition in your body can do some pretty amazing things. So it's really all about...
It doesn't all forget it.
Yeah. You're basically just building your body back up so it's stronger and it can do what it needs to do. And it's pretty powerful when you can do that, Your energy transforms. Yeah.
So somebody coming in with cancer's got one thing. Somebody that had a heart attack or whatever is trying to recover. They may have another, but it's not a huge variation. But
Not really, yeah.
You're
really just learning to eat healthier, putting the right nutrition in the body,
and getting rid of all that garbage.
Yep,
Do
exactly.
you actually go to the house and throw stuff away? In other words, you're starting this week and you got to throw all this stuff out.
I've actually done that for a client before where she actually ate fairly healthy. She came from Africa.
Yeah.
And, came to the U.S. and she was confused as to why she never had allergies before, but now she had all these allergies. And I know that in Africa, they have a very corn-based diet. So I opened up her cupboard, and I knew she probably had corn. And she had a lot of, cornmeal, And I said, well, I told my friend, I said, listen, you may have been able to eat the corn over there. The corn here
That was raw.
is mostly genetically modified. So, I told her how to shop for organic corn. And I think that made a huge difference. She also did our program, and she did really well.
And plus, if you got canned stuff over here, it's loaded with sugar. There's
you
there's
got to get the
sugar
sugar
more.
lowered.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A little bit's okay. Fruit's great. And we do, even in our products that I use on my program, we do have a little bit of natural sugar because, your body does need a little bit of natural sugar. But, I think in our diet today, there's just way too much of it. We're just overloaded
Too
with
much salt, too much sugar.
And even the salt, it's not that salt is bad. Our salt is highly processed, so I really encourage my clients to do like pink Himalayan or a natural sea salt, in their diets. And, salt is good for you. You need a little bit of it, but a lot of times our food is
But not
heavy, heavy on sodium and the processed kind that's bad for us.
in the last 2 months. I was sitting somebody that was going like this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in years, and this
And
guy's throwing.
what? That's also a sign that your body is low in minerals. It's deficient in minerals because there's minerals in salt, and unfortunately, a lot of our salt has been stripped of the minerals. So we keep, pouring it on, and we crave that salt. We go for the potato chips when our bodies are like, listen,
That's right.
I need
It's
magnesium.
It's on empty.
Yeah.
It is telling you that.
Yeah, I think they did a study where I think 80% of the population is deficient in magnesium when they did random testing. So it's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody takes magnesium pills.
That's right.
I take zinc and magnesium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not that. I was exposed to a little bit that. Going to a chiropractor. That you need to have that. So I picked that up. Somehow or other, I haven't learned the other stuff yet. But I haven't gone through 10 years of this either.
Exactly.
So. Do you have a website for people that may have questions at this point in time? They can.
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's, I'll have to spell it because it is pharmopathy, which nobody's going to know how to spell.
Right.
So it's www.farmopathy.com, and maybe they can put it up on the screen too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And that's if they got questions or what have you.
And I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
My profile is public, so they can friend me on Facebook. Pharmopathy is on Facebook.
Okay.
And my personal is Heather Wood Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And you work with people in various ways, right? In other words, you may have a referral from a group, but you also get referrals from, I don't know. In other words, are you taking people all the time that need this coaching?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do, and I work with local clients. If they're local, I can meet with them one-on-one or do a phone call. I have the ability to do Skype for clients that are international. I have clients as far away as Australia.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
when you consider you need to do this, you need to do that,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to be there as long as they know what to get,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if they go to the website, your stuff is there, so to speak, and the
Absolutely.
similar stuff that we talked about will be there.
Yeah, and if somebody has a passion for health and wellness and they want to learn more about health coaching as a career, where they could work from home or work from anywhere,
So there's
I
information
coach
there.
people through that business side too. Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Um, tell us about your. Yeah, we talked a little bit about that already, but you know, a little bit more of our. Oh, I know. Here's an idea. A lot of people usually want to know success stories. Maybe you have a couple of success stories you can say, this person came to you, was diabetic and was 300 pounds. You know, some kind of stories like that.
Sure.
You know, people like to hear about success stories.
Yeah, my very first client that I worked with was an interesting one, because when I started working with him, I was really just coaching him with whole foods. And he needed to lose 100 pounds. He lived in Kansas. He was an employee of my husband's, and he lost about 20 pounds just getting off of soda, eating healthier, and then he plateaued. And he had 80 pounds to go, and he's plateaued for 4 months. And I was starting to feel like a failure as a health coach. And then I found this program that helped me. And I said, listen, you know, I think this may really help you too if you're open-minded and you want to give it a try. And he was very motivated to hit his goal. So he jumped on our program and broke his plateau, lost 20 pounds the next month, and about 10 pounds every month after that, until it took him about a year, and he hit his ultimate goal of 100 pounds weight loss.
He wasn't sneaking food or anything. Didn't find
Everybody has a little cheat here and there, and that's the thing, is you don't want to treat it like a prison sentence, you know?
Right.
Because really, there's very few people that aren't ever going to cheat, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that because I coach them. I've been coaching for about 4 years, and I know how I was before this too.
You got those 10 years.
Yeah, you need to have a little, you know, life happens, and I coach people through the holidays. You know, they have holiday parties and they want to have a glass of wine.
You have to have this piece of pie that I worked on.
You gotta have a little piece of pie at the holiday party, or a glass of wine, you know, and I just tell them, you know, just modify what you would normally do at a holiday party. You just have a little, not like the whole bottle, not the whole pie.
Not the whole pie, yeah.
Yeah, and then get right back on track the next day, and you're not going to sabotage everything, you know. And as long as it's kind of that 80, they say 80-20 rule. I would say when you're trying to lose weight, you might want to go 80-10, 85, 90-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, you know, always remember that it's harder to lose the weight or harder to get to that goal. Maybe weight loss isn't your goal. Maybe it's energy gain, like it was for me. You still have to follow a more rigid program to hit your goal. It doesn't mean that you can't have a little cheat day here and there, you know. Everybody has to live.
A little.
A little, yeah.
Otherwise, you go right back up 10 pounds. But another example?
Another example would be a woman that I worked with who was looking to get back to her goal weight. And she was breastfeeding. So I do work with people that are breastfeeding or pregnant, and I modify according to where they are in their state of motherhood. So we did full program for her while she was just trying to lose baby weight from her last baby. She had two children, and we got her to her goal weight, and then she got pregnant for the third time. And that was not planned. I just told her,
wasn't planned.
I'm sorry, we got you a little too hot. So now we did the modified program for her during her pregnancy, and modified while she breastfed her baby. But that was the healthiest weight that she was at. You know, she had had 2 pregnancies prior, and her third was her healthiest weight during her pregnancy, her third pregnancy, and it was amazing. And she's now back to her goal weight again after the 3rd child. So
as opposed to being struggling or
as
being
opposed to
30 pounds over.
The baby weight can be, you know, those last 10 pounds of baby weight can be the most, you know, challenging to lose. They can be really stubborn. And
what are the ratios that are normal when you have a child, or is there?
I know I gained 40 pounds, and that was a little high.
Is it like 10 pounds too much at 40?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, in other words, when you're having a child, I don't know. Just tell me. You know, but there might be people out there that are, what's normal when you're pregnant?
To gain when you're pregnant.
Right. Because you have to have a certain amount of weight for the child.
Yeah. You lose a lot of it when you give birth.
Right.
I gained 40 with my child, and that was slightly on the high end. Yeah.
Yeah, so 35,
I mean, I know
30,
some women who've gained
30,
way more.
30 to 35, something.
Yeah, some people only gain 20, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have you give your website once again.
Sure.
And then we have like a couple of minutes after that,
Okay.
like to summarize.
Sure,
you know.
sure.
All right.
It's Heather Johnson, and I'm with Pharmopathy. The website is www.farmop like Paul, A-T like Tom, H-Y. .com.
I was
so
making sure you-
Pharmopathy.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's difficult. You put an extra
Well,
letter in there, or
challenging
especially if you weren't good at spelling when you were.
Yeah, and the meaning behind that is food is medicine. Food can be medicine.
Ah,
Yeah.
I figure it has something to do
A very
with the farm.
to table, yeah.
And this is good stuff from the farm as
Yes.
opposed to the stuff that we
Exactly.
we do. You know, and like a little summary of once again, or either that or another story. You got 2 minutes.
Yeah. So I work with clients of all ages. Literally, we work with clients, literally of all ages. So I think my eldest client is maybe in her 80s, and I do work with children. And it's just, it's a powerful thing for me to help someone achieve their goal. I'm probably more excited than they are when they do hit it.
And it's amazing. There was something on kids that how obese our kids are compared to the rest of the world.
I know.
It's like 40%, right? I remember what the last statistic.
It's sad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad to see kids coming down with diabetes and all these other and
The sugar,
the amount of allergies that we have now.
The
and
sugar, the salts.
autism. Yeah.
And it's all there, it's in the food supply. Wherever you go, if
Love
there's too much sugar, too much salt.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. A lot of that
anyway,
is the
but you
culprit.
got positive news there that it's possible to get out of that
There is
cycle.
hope.
So I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I want to thank the viewers coming on Community Forum. Come in next week, same time, same station, and we'll have another interesting program. Good night for now, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.